Your taxi has now been booked and we will be with you as soon as possible.
Work-life balance. I'm sure there's been a few YouTubes made about this. I have a problem with the term, though. I think that if we were to get that right, we could get ourselves on the right track. I don't know if it's a product of the Industrial Revolution, but the reason why school holidays are so long during the summer months is basically so the kids could help out gathering stuff from the fields. It wasn't work-life, it was life. The family business was part of sustenance, security, survival. And I think the creation of cities created this magnetised society we currently live in. My great-great-grandfather talked about the third magnet, the idea of garden cities where life and work were combined into one single organism. It became suburbia. It's probably been a while since I've actually used a pair of scales, but if you've ever had the pleasure or displeasure, you'll realise that achieving a balance is actually remarkably difficult. It's timid. It's almost like a grain of rice would make the difference and just tip the balance all the other way. To say good work-life balance is to imply that if you don't get the balance correct, it's bad. Nurses doing that horrible end-of-life stuff saying that they see very few patients who wish they spent more time at work. But I have to also argue that most people hate their fucking jobs, hate their fucking bosses. Is that not the issue there? It's not just about spending more time with your family, it's more spending less time with that. The tyranny of our age that I think started with Thatcher and Reagan is this idea that work and life are two separate entities. And I say tyranny because if there's one thing that unifies all tyrannies since the dawn of mankind, it is the removal of family. The minute we created work and play, and indeed what suburbia became, was the minute that we suddenly separated work and life even further. What I don't like about the scale thing is it's as if you could have too much life, that would be a bad thing. And that's, I think, where this idea of this capitalistic tyranny comes in. The idea that really work is measured in units of time, not in great ideas or solutions, that it's based on it being hard, and hard being simply you having to spend a lot of time doing it. Whereas in fact every study shows that this is the least productive, least useful way of working, as if the abandonment of life, relationships, children, family is a good thing. I don't want you to get the impression that I'm preaching. I am one of the worst cunts when it comes to work-life balance. I've allowed it to destroy relationships, to make people I love ill. I have allowed it to by and large, biologically destroy me. As always with these ranty monologues, it's not about kind of do what I say. It's about please don't do what I have done. Nor is this a who's the bigger nihilist willy-waving competition. I really have a lot of regret, and the reason why I'm making this vlog, as I do a lot of these ranty old man monologues, is to help you avoid doing stuff that is totally unnecessary. As proof of how this isn't a brag vlag, I'm going to tell you some stuff that will probably mean you really don't like me. And I've been on shaky ground for the last couple of years. I don't have many friends, there's a surprise, but the friends I do have, I've known since I was 4 or 5 years old, and I value their friendship highly. So it's ironic that I've cancelled on them for their 30th, 40th, 50th birthdays, and we won't get those back, all because of some fear of not being available to a director. I had a girlfriend who had a stroke, and I didn't get to visit her in hospital because I was crunching. I've missed 2 funerals of friends' children who have died because of the demands of a producer or a director. I've left deathbeds of close relatives to recall cues. I made the amazing person I'm married to ill with exhaustion because of the demands placed on me to fly to Dubai to perform a screening where every single cue was rejected and I was fired. And I would say, worst of all, I abandoned my wife and my 9-month-old baby kid during our honeymoon in order to go and assuage some fears the director had that I was not the right fit for his abominable movie. I understand. I get it. I've lost friends. But I think the thing that really stirred me into action was the idea that I would treat my children like that, my life partner. I needed to make a correction. When I started this vlog about 5 years ago, I decided to retire. My wife suggested that I shouldn't retire, or certainly not announce it, because I may go back to it, and I did. But it was something I think I really needed to do, and I think if you're stuck in a rut and you're having a problem with this kind of internal anguish, taking stock, a sabbatical, whether it be weeks, months, or in my case it was maybe 3 years, is definitely the way to go. I gave up because I had done what I've always wanted to put on a mug, and I took two of the greatest loves of my life, music and film, and turned them into a fucking job. To make money doing something that you love, that you enjoy, that you look forward to Mondays as opposed to Friday to do, is an impossible aim for many of us. And the reason it's impossible, because it's impossible to really know what you would enjoy as a job, what will get you out of bed on a Monday morning. Are you going to continue love what you're doing if your livelihood depends on it? Particularly when some cunt director, sorry, I'm in the pub, is literally tearing pages out of the calendar that is your life. When that thing that you love is killing you, is making the people that you love ill, making them dislike you, forget about you, or indeed not being able to rely on you as a friend, partner, sibling, son, and worst of all, parent. You will have to trust me here. What us old people say is the truth. When you're 20, 10 years is half your life. For me, 10 years is 1/5. Decades just start to strafe by. And again, I never wanted this vlog to be grumpy old bloke. I don't want to be maudlin. I just want to encourage you to ask yourself what it is that you want. And with these strafing decades, what I hold on to most are the memories created. And none of those memories created in front of a fucking door. It's not about work-life balance. It's about life as a whole. And what I would say to you as a thing to strive for is freedom, not bondage. The freedom to take choices that are the best for you and those around you. The freedom born of not climbing yourself into an impossible cycle of overheads that imprisons you within jobs that you don't enjoy. The freedom to create whimsical memories from throwing a frisbee in the park and to be able to afford to go out for a pint at the end of the week. The freedom of not worrying about the consequences of going home early because your child is unwell. So often when I do these monologues, there's this correction of, well, it's all right for you to say because you've been quite lucky and all of that kind of stuff. No, a lengthy IMDb page has cost me dearly, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. If material status is important to you, cars, homes, then I don't think music is a great way to go. Even if a very, very small percentage of people within music have those trappings. and that's just what they are. So describe to yourself the way that you would like to live your life and the way of those people around you who will maybe be your dependents, friends, people who rely on you, people you rely on, the way they interact with your life combined, and get your work to integrate with that and them, not the other way around. Do not allow the tyrants in, even if that tyrant is you. The biggest gift that you can have from the people around you is support. But it is a two-way street. It shouldn't be expected. It should be something that is negotiated. Discussing with your nearest and dearest that something that's going to deny you access to your children for a certain length of time is the right thing to do is something that should be negotiated, not simply stated. The two of you, the three of you, the whole group of you can then celebrate and enjoy the success that you have achieved without alienating yourself in your own life. The only person who has control over the story of their life, and I'm not saying it's full control, but the only person who has any degree of control over the story of your life is you. And that story is the one that you will tell on your deathbed. Am I really going to end it like that? It's a broad term. But aim for freedom. And by that, I don't mean never getting married and settling down and not having kids, not that kind of freedom. The freedom to make choices, the freedom to dictate your own narrative. No one should value your time more than you. And believe you me, for many, the road to success often comes just after you've said one word: no.